Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for accepting our initiatives and responding to that in a very nice way. So we are very much feeling reaffirmed that what we are doing is going in a right way. So with that positive note, I would like to go ahead with the Shikshashtakam. So anyone remembers where we left?
Vidyavadu Jeevanam Prabhuji.
Vidhyavadhu Jivanam.
Jeevanam.
Okay. So we have completed Cheto Darpanamarjanam, Bhavamahandavagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidyavadhu Jivanam.
Jeevanam.
So next is Anandambudhi Vardhanam.
Vardhanam.
And after that is Pratipadam Purnamrita Asvadanam.
Vardhanam.
So this Anandambudhi Vardhanam is very special because while I was preparing this, I was like, I myself was confused what I was preparing because it is so intertwined, like other metaphors or other lines are in a very straight way. Sometimes, we can understand it. But this Pratipadam Purnamrita Aswadanam and Anandambudhi Vardhanam are very much intertwined. So while you are listening, you might get little confusion. Okay. But we will have question and answers. I'll try to finish in 8:55. My probably 10 to 15 minutes I'll take. So today, if someone has any work or anything, so let me tell you that after 9 p.m. only we will have question and answers. So we will extend the session a little bit. So is that okay with everyone?
Sure.
Yes, Prabhuji, sure.
Okay. So Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. So Ananda means
Happiness.
happiness, right?
Happiness.
Ambudhi means ocean. Okay. Ambudhi is ocean. And Vardhana means expanding, okay, or growing. So when we hear about ocean is expanding, is it a thing that we can imagine how an ocean can expand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So it in a real world normally can we see ocean is expanding? No, right? Then
No,
will be a
Prabhuji.
normal size and it will be there only, right? It is not expanding. So here in the bhakti we talk about Bhava Sindhu, right? The material existence is known as Bhava Sindhu or Bhava Sagar. Okay. And we also see in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the title itself is Nectar of Devotion, but in Sanskrit it is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So it is also ocean. So we have two oceans. One is Bhava Sindhu and the other is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And in between we are the Bindu. Okay. We are trying to go here sometimes. We are trying to go here sometimes. Okay. That is why we are the Tatastha energy. So we have a choice whether to associate with Maya or associate with Krishna. Let us have a dip in the Bhava Sagar or let us have a dip in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sagar, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So here when Ambudhi is mentioned, it is about the glories of Krishna. So glories of Krishna are always unlimited. Okay. Even every devotee will say that, we cannot glorify the Lord to the level that the glories are there. It is always unlimited. It is always expanding. Even the Ananta Shesha with thousands of mouth also, he says, I cannot describe the glories of the Lord. In one of the sharing where I heard that Lord Shiva, once Parvati Devi has asked Lord Shiva to tell about the glories of Lord Ram, at least the name of Lord Ram, why he chants always. So then he says, if we make the whole sky as a canvas and let us have all the water of the oceans converted into ink. So all the sky as canvas and all the water as an ink. Even with that, I cannot write the glories of Lord Ram even for 1%. So that many glories are there of Lord Ram, and Lord Krishna's glories are much more than that, isn't it? So it is not able, we are not able to glorify the Lord, know all the glories of the Lord. It is always unlimited and expanding. Now, Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam, here the context comes is the glories of Krishna is unlimited. Okay. In many lectures, many devotees, in many books, we will hear. But we do not have the emotional connection with Krishna. That is the reason we are not able to appreciate those glories. So, for example, when you love someone, okay, let us say we love Srila Prabhupada, or we love our spiritual master, or we love our parents or our children. When someone glorifies them, do you feel happy?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Certainly, Prabhuji.
So
Yes.
do you need to put any extra effort to become happy there?
No, no.
It
It
is
comes
natural.
natural.
Natural happiness, right? Why there is natural happiness? Because we are connected to them very strongly, right? So there is a strong connection between the two people. That is why when the other person gets glorification, this person feels naturally happy. So when Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam happens, our consciousness expands, we will start experiencing emotions with Krishna, very strong connection with Krishna. And through Vidya Vadhu Jivanam, we'll get the knowledge to serve Krishna. So what is happening? Already we are getting expanded consciousness and we are getting the knowledge to serve. And this is making our connection with Krishna more and more stronger. And because of this, what happens when we hear the glories of Krishna, we naturally get happiness. And that happiness keeps increasing. So here the metaphor is used as the ocean is expanding, but actually ocean is constant only, but our appreciation is expanding. You know, sometimes the same things what we heard right now, if I would have told you all these things 1 year or 3 years back, do you think you'll have the same appreciation for all these words?
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji.
No, we cannot have, right? Because our connection with Krishna is improving day by day. So probably when we hear the same Shikshashtakam, same class after 5 years, you will be able to appreciate more and more. Because when we grow in spirituality, there is a difference between material consciousness and spiritual consciousness. In material consciousness, what happens is we will always think about what we don't have, and we will never value what we have. This is material consciousness. In spiritual consciousness, what will happen is we will always try to appreciate what we already have, and we don't feel the lack because we are getting the connection with Krishna, and from there we derive the satisfaction. So that is the reason in material life we are always anxious, agitated, always dissatisfied. But when we grow spiritually, day by day, our peace will increase, our anxiety will come down, will our satisfaction will increase. So here what is happening is Krishna is already there with us as Paramatma. He is coming from so many lifetimes, but we don't have the experience of Krishna. So when we have experience of Krishna, the connection with Krishna, when we hear about the glories of Krishna, our joy will increase naturally. So what is happening is by chanting the holy name, our connection with Krishna is getting stronger day by day. The connection that you had yesterday with Krishna and the connection that you have today is entirely different. It is being said that the person who bows down in front of the Lord and the person who gets up is a different person. Have you understood this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
So that means with every Hare Krishna, you are not same. You are changing. Okay, your connection with Krishna is getting better and better. That is the reason when we hear about the glories of Krishna, the ocean, the unlimited ocean of glories, then we will get the satisfaction. Now, in this connection, what will happen is there is a verse in Mukunda Mala Stotra where Kulashekar Maharaj actually glorifies Krishna. In around 33 verses are there. So in the text 8, he talks about, I want to dive in the ocean of the glories of Krishna, okay, so that I can quench my thirst, because this material existence is actually a desert. So there I cannot quench my thirst. So I want to drink as much as water in the ocean of the glories of Krishna, and let me quench my thirst, because the desert is not giving me any water. So here the same thing, every devotee want to get immersed into the ocean of glories of Krishna. Okay, now when our experience with Krishna, our connection with Krishna increases, what will happen is we will start feeling ourselves very low. There is one example, right? In one of the book, actually I'll remember this, Lalita Madhav. Okay, so that is the book name, which is written by Srila Rupa Goswami. So what happens is this Jarasandha, you heard about him? Jarasandha.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
he is the father-in-law of Kamsa.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so Jarasandha, what he does is he conquers different kingdoms and he imprisons the kings of that particular kingdom and he puts them into jail. So he will collect so many kings like that, so many kingdoms like that. And there's all kings, thousands of kings in a prison, they pray to Krishna, okay, and they glorify Krishna. And actually, in the end, Krishna comes and releases them. So they'll have some spy or messenger who goes to Krishna and tells them, Jarasandha has, captured many kings like this and he has put into jail. So you come and release. So he actually, they send a messenger because they believe that Krishna will come and release them. So in this process, they will start glorifying Krishna. Okay. So Krishna is like this, like that, and all. But at the end, when Krishna comes and releases them, and when Krishna comes personally, do you think the experience will be different or not?
It will be
different,
Prabhuji.
Of
Prabhuji.
course,
Huge
Prabhuji.
difference, right? So what happens? These kings will tell Krishna, we actually glorified you, and we thought like we have glorified you like anything, okay, at the max. But now, after experiencing you here, what we feel like our prayers, our glorification is like insult to you. That means we have glorified an emperor to be a landlord. So landlord may be, the lord of some villages, but the emperor is the lord of many kingdoms, entire world, isn't it? So when you glorify an emperor to be a landlord, so how much gap is there, isn't it? So that is the gap of appreciation that we have. So when our experience with Krishna is very little, our appreciation of the Krishna's glory is also very little. And because of that, today we might hear so many glories of Krishna. When pure devotees talks about them, they will be in ecstasy. Like Lord Chaitanya, when he hears Krishna, he gets into ecstasy. But we chant and we do and so many things we hear about him, but we don't feel that ecstasy, isn't it? So the glorification of Krishna is not bringing joy to us because our connection with Krishna is not strong. So when by chanting the holy name, when our connection becomes very strong, the ocean of Krishna's glories, that will start giving us so much of joy that we will start appreciating each and everything about Krishna, and we will start seeing Krishna everywhere. The devotees actually who are very pure, they will see Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. So that is the difference, and that is the journey from where we begin. So now we have no joy. When we hear about Krishna, some good feeling will come, but it will be very momentary. It won't be ecstatic. But as we become pure by chanting, right, by every day, whatever number of rounds we are chanting, when we are improving, when we are becoming pure, what will happen? Our appreciation to Krishna's glories and the experience of Krishna, everything will get increased. And because of that, we will start having happiness. Prabhupada says, chant and
Be happy.
Be happy.
be
Chant
happy.
and be happy.
But now our journey is like we are chanting and getting tired, not happy, isn't it? And we are finding it great struggle.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But as we grow, what will happen is our chanting will make our consciousness pure and will give us the access to have that joy whenever we listen the glories of Krishna. So this is Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. So this is about this line. So any comments or questions on this?
We are getting happy by becoming tired, Prabhuji. By
Very well.
Haribol, Prabhuji.
Nice. So, and actually there is a Marathi poet in Maharashtra. So he glorifies the eyes of Lord Ram.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so you know how he glorifies? He says, Lord Ram's eyes are as beautiful as Lord Ram's eyes. So that means there is no metaphor enough which can actually glorify Lord Ram's eyes. So he says Lord Ram's eyes are as beautiful as Lord Ram's eyes. So his appreciation for Lord Ram's eyes is so much that he didn't find anything that is nearby to glorify the Lord Ram's eyes. So this is the glorification which is actually bringing so much joy that he finds nothing, but only starts with Krishna, ends with Krishna only, starts with Lord Ram's eyes, ends with Lord Ram's eyes only.
Prabhuji, we can't glorify.
You're on mute, Mataji.
Prabhuji, we can't glorify Lord with the other material things because Lord is beautiful as the Lord. Because once gopis also glorified Lord that you are as the lotus flower, you are beautiful as the moon. But when they saw Lord Krishna, they said that we have insulted you by glorifying.
Exactly.
So they was thinking that you are beautiful as much as the lotus flower, as much as the moon. So they said that Lord Krishna is beautiful as Lord Sri Krishna.
Yeah, beautiful. Similar example, right? So similarly,
Yes,
when the
Prabhuji.
kings where they were imprisoned in the Jarasandra's kingdom, they also felt like, you are an emperor, but we praised you, we glorified you as if you are a landlord. So that's how. Okay. Fine. Any?
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
uh,
Soham, yes.
which poet were you talking about?
I believe it's Tukaram Maharaj.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not sure yet because I heard as a Marathi poet only. I have not heard the exact name. But actually, the one of the famous poets in Maharashtra is Tukaram Maharaj only, and his
Yes.
Abhang are very famous. Right, his
Yes.
poetry. Yeah, so I believe him only.
Yes.
But he
Hare
generally
Krishna.
glorifies Panduranga. That's
Pandu.
Vithala.
Vithala.
Yeah, yeah.
Vithala.
Right.
Panduranga. Yes.
So that is the thing. So if you have any questions, we can take it. Otherwise, we can take the next part also.
We will take
Next
the
part, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Next.
Right.
Next part.
Next
Prabhuji.
part, Prabhuji.
So again, next part means around 10 to 15 minutes it will take. So if
Sure,
you are
sure, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
No problem.
okay,
Hare
so
Krishna.
we have 34 people. The majority is 18. So 18 hands should be raised. Then only we'll continue. 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16. Okay, so 17 hands and 2 vocals.
Prabhuji, you can
Prabhuji,
include
me
yourself
too.
also, Prabhuji,
No,
so
I
that
am
we
your,
will make the number.
in Krishna consciousness, you have to be very careful because the speaker will never stop talking. Like today, Raghunath Puridas Prabhu might have experienced so much of injustice, so much of inconvenience that how can someone give 20 minutes and talk about Srila Prabhupada? Even to tell the founder Acharya, just without any topic also we can speak about Srila Prabhupada for 20 minutes. Isn't it, Prabhu? Okay, Prabhu is, I think, went to offer. So this is the thing. So if you are ready.
Yeah, no, I'm listening to that, Prabhu. But actually, 20. I mean, if we start speaking, we won't end up.
We won't end up. Yeah, that is what. The major problem nowadays we are facing is how to control the time.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Because when you speak, it is very sweet. I know you will keep on speaking and all, but we
I
have to consider the others also.
I spoke for Prabhu one time, one of our devotee group. Almost I spoke for 4.5 hours, and they
Oh,
still they are not ready to. I said,
no.
now we will conclude the session. Next time on, we will take little more on that.
Yeah,
4.5
yeah.
hours.
Great. So we had 34. Someone left, I think. Okay, fine. So we'll go ahead with the next part. That is, what is the next part? Pratipadam.
Purnamrita Swadanam.
Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. So actually, this is the stage where we would like to reach. Okay, Pratipadam Purna Amrita Aswadan. That means complete nectar. Now, in this world, we cannot have complete nectar. Actually, in this world, we cannot have nectar itself, even with the tinges of something. So our journey is from poison to nectar. Okay, so today we are chanting, but there is no taste. Okay, Acharya says, Madhuram Madhurebhyopi. That means it is the sweetest of all sweet. Okay, and they glorify as if, like, I think Sanatana Goswami or Rupa Goswami, he says, like, I want to have hundreds of mouths and hundreds of ears, or I think millions of mouths and millions of ears to chant this 2 syllables Krishna. I don't know how much sweetness is there, but I wanted to relish that taste. So when we hear this Acharyas saying all this, we'll feel like the same mantra we are chanting, nothing is coming. Okay. And my mouth is actually getting dried up. Forget about feeling the sweet or something, isn't it? So today we are experiencing poison. Now, why we are experiencing poison and what is the meaning of nectar? We will take that. So nectar means, what does nectar means? Amrita. So Amrita generally no one has tasted. Has anyone tasted Amrita here?
Prabhuji.
No,
Okay,
Prabhuji.
so we are on the same page then. Okay.
Demigods have tasted.
Yeah, demigod. So no demigods in the class today, right?
No, Prabhuji.
Perfect, perfect. So taste, we never tasted Amrita, but you know, we talk about Amrita always, you know, when we taste some good buttermilk or some lemon juice, some good tea or coffee or something, we'll say, "Kaisa hai?"
Amrit jaisa hai.
Amrit.
As if we have tasted Amrit. Okay.
We
Prabhuji,
don't
the
know how
tea-
Amrit is actually, Prabhuji.
Right, but still we use this word. जैसे कि हम अमृत बहुत बार पी चुके हैं. Okay, so Amrit does three things. One is it is very tasty, very sweet. Okay, and the second is it gives strength. Okay, and the third is it increases the lifespan. Okay, so Amrita does these three things. So this holy name, we say it as Hari Nama Amrita. Okay, so this has to be very, very sweet. Okay, but today we are not experiencing it. But once we take this taste of Harinama Amrit, the chanting of holy name, once we start getting the taste, even someone comes and says that, you know, I'll give you 1 crore, you stop chanting Hare Krishna. And will they stop?
Will not stop.
No,
No,
No, Prabhuji, not at
Actually,
all.
actually last week or something, I asked this question and you all said like, now itself we don't stop. So forget about having taste, isn't it? How great it will be. We can only have certain level of imagination. So it is very tasty. It is very sweet. And the second thing is it is giving strength. Now, the difference between many of the demigods and Prahlad Maharaj was that he was fearless. You know, Hiranyakashipu was terrorizing everyone. All the demigods were actually, you know, terrorized by him. They were actually hiding and they're not coming in front. They were not having the natural process of their management and all. But Prahlad Maharaj was in front of Hiranyakashipu and he was fearless. So from where he got the strength? From chanting the holy name, right?
Harinam.
The Smaran Shakti, Harinam Shakti.
Sankirtan.
Yeah, so Harinam Shakti he had. Okay, so today also we lack so much of strength to say no to certain things, and we also lack strength to say yes to certain things. So when we start chanting, what will happen is strength will come. Even in the pastime of Aghasura, where the Gwarbal, the cowherd boys, and they will enter the snake, that is
Mouth
Aghasura.
of, yeah.
Yeah, mouth of snake. So, you know, even demigods were actually afraid of Aghasura. That much powerful he was. But these Gwarpal, the cowherd boys, entered on whose confidence?
On
Krishna's confidence,
that if any
Prabhuji.
Krishna
danger
is
is
there.
there,
Yeah.
Krishna
Krishna
will
is
save us.
So Krishna dekh lenge. So they had the faith. Okay. So actually demigods have tasted the nectar. They have drank the nectar, but they could not get the strength to stand in front of these demons. But these boys, these Prahlad Maharaj and the cowherd boys, they have not tasted the nectar, which the demigods have tasted, but their strength is incomparable because they have the Harinama Amrit. So they actually have the real nectar, because of which the strength is coming. And the third point, what it will do, the nectar?
Increase the life.
Increases the
Increase the
lifespan.
lifespan. So if you chant Hare Krishna, what will happen? What is the end result? We will go back.
Back
the
to
board of-
Back to Godhead.
Goloka
there-
Krishna's
Prabhuji.
So in
lotus
Goloka,
children.
is there any death?
No,
No,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Is there any birth?
No,
No,
but-
Prabhuji.
Is there any old age?
no,
No,
Is
Prabhuji.
there any disease?
not at
No,
all.
Prabhuji.
So what is happening? The lifespan is increasing. So
Expanding.
we are eternal. Here we are dying again and again. But once we have this Harinama Amrit, what will happen? Our lifespan will improve. So this much is the power of that Harinama Amrit. But now we are not able to experience it. Now there are different levels of reasons why we are not experiencing it. The first thing is our attachments and our distractions. So our mind is having so many impressions from so many lifetimes. And because of that, we have developed certain kind of attachments, and those attachments will start distracting us. So it is like We are chanting it, but we are not getting the taste. So let us have this example. Suppose someone is offering you sweet rice. Okay, how many of you like sweet rice?
Prabhuji.
Me, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Okay, so you are trying, your sweet rice is in your hand, somebody has offered, and you are trying to drink like this. Okay, Krishna or Prabhu, you have to be on mute. Yeah. So what is happening is somebody has gave a rice, sweet rice, and you are trying to drink it or eat it, and someone came and just thrown you like this. What will happen?
Rice missed, Prabhuji.
Right? So you will
Feeling
get
bad.
angry and you are in, plate me chetlo on the plate aapke hand mein hai, someone is just pushing you like anything. What will happen? The plate will fall, we will not eat, and we will get hurt also. So what is happening is, while chanting, we are trying to connect to Krishna, but our distraction is coming and pulling away. So it is just throwing our head here and there. Hey, go there. Hey, watch this. Hey, see this. Hey, listen to this. Hey, you had planned this. Hey, what happened to that thing? Hey, why she is not talking to me rightly? Okay, what happened to them? So 20 years back, you might have given 20 rupees to someone, he has not returned. That thought also will come while chanting. 20 साल पहले 20 रुपए दिया था, वो अभी तक वापस नहीं किया. Now that 20 rupees doesn't matter also, but still while chanting that matters. So here all the distractions, all the impressions that you carried throughout different lifetimes, that will come surface. Okay. So when they come up, what will happen? We are not able to taste it. The Lord's chanting is very sweet, but we are not able to taste it. Now in Nectar of Instruction in Upadeshamrut, Rupa Goswami says that this holy name is very sweet, but we are not able to taste it as a sadhaka because we are diseased. Okay, like a person who is, suffering from jaundice. What is the medicine for jaundice? It's sugarcane juice. Okay.
Correct.
When someone drinks sugarcane juice and if he's suffering from jaundice, will he taste it sweet or bitter?
No, Prabhuji, it tastes bitter.
It's very bitter, okay? But in actual, the sugarcane juice is bitter or sweet?
Sweet, Prabhuji.
Sweet only, but we are experiencing it bitter. So problem is with the holy name or our tongue?
Our tongue, Prabhuji.
Tongue. But can we avoid it because it is bitter?
No, Prabhuji.
No,
Because
Prabhuji.
if we avoid, we will continue to have this disease. If a jaundice person who is suffering with jaundice, if he says like, no, I don't want to drink because it is bitter, then he'll continue to be a patient of jaundice and he'll suffer more and more. So while drinking it, the bitterness also adding some suffering to the existing suffering, but that suffering is for cure, not to increase his disease. But if he tries to avoid that, what will happen? The disease will keep on increasing and he'll suffer more and more. So similarly, today, we are not having so much of taste, not so much, we don't have a taste. Okay. So we have so many dry states. Sometimes we may get good feeling, but every time we say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we don't feel any taste over there. So it is a very dry state for us and it will continue for a very long time. But if we stop it, then we will never be able to taste it. But if we continue, at least after some years or some time, we will be able to have the taste. And when we start getting this taste, it is complete nectar. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about different kinds of pleasure. Okay, there he says about having pleasure or happiness in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion. So in the mode of passion, he says that it starts with poison, Amrit. Okay, and agre amritam ante visham. That means in the mode of passion, when we try to have happiness, it will begin with begin with nectar, but ends with poison. So it gives little bit pleasure, but after that, lot of misery. But when we talk about happiness in the mode of goodness, it will begin with the poison. Okay, it will be very difficult initially, but once we continue, it will give lot of pleasure, lot of happiness. But here Krishna is talking about, Lord Chaitanya is talking about Pratipadam Purnamrita Aswadan. That means the start is also a nectar, in between also nectar, end also nectar. That stage he is talking about. So it is beyond the mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. It is transcendental taste. So once we chant over a period of time, we will get purified. And once our consciousness is purified, we will get relieved of this disease. So jaundice is not our disease. Our disease is avidya, ignorance, forgetfulness of Krishna, no interest in serving Krishna. So these are all our diseases. So when we get cleansed of these, we will go to, yes, as Kritika Mataji said, Shuddha Sattva. Okay, pure goodness or transcendental. So there we will have the Purna Amrita Aswadanam. So we can take this example in our children also. You know, I think many of us have children. Are they interested in studies or in playing?
Prabhuji, I'm interested in both.
Leela Shri, you are transcendental. We will not consider you as a child.
Playing only, Prabhuji.
Playing only, right? But if he keeps on playing, what will happen in future?
He forgets all these studies.
He will not be able to have a good degree, good career, good life. So what is happening is he's trying to avoid to get some pleasure in the present. But this pleasure will not continue further. After few days, even if we want to play, one thing is he'll not have joy in playing because he grows up. And second thing, he'll not have joy of settled life also because he have ignored the studies. So here also as a sadhaka, we might be going through so many struggles, maybe for chanting or attending these classes or reading Srila Prabhupada books, we will find difficulty. You know, many things comes up in our life, especially once we start practicing bhakti, so many engagements will come. Okay, we thought like before coming to bhakti, we had 2 hours of free time, but now we will feel like 24 hours is also not enough. Some or other work is coming and sometimes maid doesn't come. Okay, so anyone suffering with that?
Most of us suffer, Prabhuji.
Yeah, because of this pandemic, you know, the actually online classes started. That is a blessing in disguise, but there is a curse also. Like, you know, we are not able to find proper mates and proper working people, everything. So everything what we don't used to do, that we are able to do it now because of this. So what is happening is when we start doing bhakti, there will be so many disturbances also. Even Srila Prabhupada says, once you become God conscious, there will be so many asuras will come to you and disturb you. So there can be external asuras and there can be internal asuras, our impurities, lust, greed, anger, and our attachments and everything. So because of this, what will happen? We are not able to have taste. But if we still persist, like Prabhuji has shared about Srila Prabhupada, how he persisted, how he persevered, even after so many difficulties, because of that, we have this holy name, this all books, Prabhupada, which has written by sitting in the night, by going through all struggle. So those are things are easily available for us. So compared to his struggle, our struggle is very less, but still everyone's struggle is big for him. So let us be practical. So if we keep on chanting, even after all these troubles, then over a period of time, we will have taste. And once we have that taste, even if someone comes and tells you, like, you know, even Radheshyam Prabhuji once said that if a devotee is very pure and he was very advanced, then even the Vaikuntha Viman comes at the temple, okay, or some aeroplane from Goloka comes and they says that it's okay now, you need not chant today, let's go back. Then what do you think the devotee will do?
He will
He will
chant.
complete the prescribed rounds of
Okay,
chanting.
so he will say like, you know, I have been given some services and I have to complete my rounds. So what I'll do is I'll complete the rounds and I will go to my superior, the senior Vaishnavas, and I'll tell them, I'll take their blessings and then they'll board. So what is that? Because he has not in a greed to go back home. He knows that, you know, Lord is always with me. So Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. But today, because of our contaminated consciousness, we feel that Krishna is somewhere in Goloka and we have to go somewhere to Goloka to have the pleasure and all the spiritual life. But a pure devotee, he thinks wherever I chant, I have Krishna with me, and wherever Krishna is there, that is Goloka, that is Vaikuntha. That is why Srila Prabhupada says our temples are not the material platforms or material places. They are the Vaikunthas and Golokas. So Prabhupada can experience that non-difference of the temple of Krishna and Goloka is non-different. But because we have this contaminated consciousness, we will feel the difference. So this is how we get Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam and then Pratipadam Purnamrita Aswadanam. So we will taste nectar at every step. Hari Bol. So that's what I thought to talk.